Hi, and welcome to the Planet Driven Brands podcast. In this show, we will be discussing with our guests how brands they represent can help in the drive to build a better, more sustainable and safer planet. We will highlight brands as drivers for change and the role they play as influencers. How will brands positively impact the planet and its environment? This is what we're going to find out. Do brands actually have any responsibility to change? The Planet Driven Brands podcast, episode 17. Today's guest is Victor Sanchez, the co-founder and CEO of SyncRTC and the MashMeGroup. Today, we're going to be talking about sustainability and cloud technology and edutech. Hi, Victor. Thanks so much for joining our show. I wonder if you could give us a quick introduction.
Hi, Nick. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. My name is Victor Sanchez. I am CEO and co-founder of a small company, hopefully making a big impact, called MashMe.io. And I'm an engineer by trade and a Google developer expert in web technologies.
Cool, thank you. I'm going to start the way I always do. Business and brands' responsibility to the planet in regards to sustainability. Where are you at with that?
When we started the company almost 8.5 years ago, we started making some decisions. And at that point, I was making already those decisions, thinking on a plethora of factors that come from accessibility, language, the ability to hire talent, but also sustainability, reduce traffic, reduce emissions, reduce our impact on the planet, have always been a big thing. And that comes again from absolutely everything that you do. And in the end, when you are running a business, right, you expect to live society both with your products, with your services, and with your actions better than you found it, right? And again, that has a couple of different aspects, and sustainability is definitely one of those that should worry everyone.
Concentrating on that big picture, would you say that the technology industries have been lagging behind or leading when it comes to sustainability?
There are leaders and laggers in any industry, and yes, technology is no different, right? We have our slackers in big tech for sure, but also I believe that in general terms, big tech has made a positive impact in terms of energy usage, and not because they are responsible for a lot of the emissions. It means that they are doing it in an inefficient or in a careless way. And I believe in general, big tech has been doing a positive impact because of the need for energy consumption. They are the ones that right now are leading to in a lot of very innovative ways on generating the energy that big tech requires to function, right? And our digital society requires to function. So I think that there are bumps on the road, but it's been a positive impact for sure.
Okay, well, talking big tech, they don't get much bigger than Google. Now, I'm not an expert, but I hear that they are really leading the transformation towards sustainability.
Of course, and again, it's one of the reasons why we chose them. Since 2007, right? Google announced that carbon neutrality. They were the first big tech company to announce their carbon neutrality or achieve objective. Then in 2017, they were talking about 100% renewable energy, and now they are talking by 2030 to have 24/7 carbon-free energy, and that's insane. I mean, Google has an energy ticker, right? That is absolutely insane. Machine learning, which is powered by GPUs, graphical processing units, which are in every single Google product, is one of the most expensive in energy-wise that you can have. So having Google saying, look, we not only are 100% renewable since 2017, but in less than 9 years now, we're going to be carbon-free. They are going to do most of the computing, if not all of the computing, where the cleaner energy is. They are going to be able to identify where the load of these applications is coming from and where they have available computing resources that are using the cleaner energy at the time. So in real time, they are putting those computing tasks in the right data center that has available clean energy to execute on that. And that is a massive technical task. But if you compare, and again, I hate to bash other providers, but if you compare the footprint of CO2 of an Amazon, of Amazon Web Services versus Google, the difference is insane.
So Google set out many, many years ago to lead in this. When you say it's insane, try and give me a perspective of what it can mean in 5 to 10 years' time.
So in doing what they are doing in 9 years. I mean, today their objective, I believe it's close to impossible. So what they announced is that they are going to be doing three things that I think matter quite a bit. One I already explained you, which is the one that obviously as a geek I like the most, because they are using machine learning to fix the planet, and what is better than that? But there are another two. The first one is that they are going to be creating geothermal based data centers, extremely sustainable. If built well, you can build them almost anywhere, which is the other thing that matters. They know they cannot achieve the objective by 2030 unless they innovate also on renewable energy. And the other one is using both the cold of deep sea installations and the waves themselves to power data centers. It helps on refrigeration, but it also generates energy. Basically, they set up an impossible objective that is only possible if they develop technology that doesn't exist. And again, as a geek and as a sustainable minded person, I love that.
I'm going to pivot a bit now because I actually want to be more specific to remote learning. I wonder if you can tell me what's going on in this landscape and where that's headed.
We have been doing remote education for a very long time, but it has become much more topical now with the pandemic, where distant education is no longer an option, but it's a necessity. But it has shown several things that we have been saying for years. The first one that I really like is you cannot have a global-minded cohort of students unless you have a global-minded university. That we are seeing for the first time since universities exist, cohorts connecting from all over the world and having much more global, much more diverse education is built helping on that. Education shouldn't be a university that you go physically to. Should be a constant process, a journey throughout your whole life. And the only way that you can do that you can reconnect with your alumni, that you can reconnect with the educational institutions that you do that, is through remote education.
Okay, let's be more specific about MashMe then. Why are you different?
There are always like three pillars that we always mention on why MashMe is different. The first one is on very high quality, low latency if you compare it to anything else. Because we install these massively large video walls, if we don't send much more quality than any of our competitors, you will see pixels the size of your face, which is not advisable. The second thing that we do is what we call persistent rooms. The persistent rooms are this idea on, I hate conversations, right? I hate a phone call where I call you or you call me back, or we all call to a conference call, and we have this great idea and we get excited, and for 3 hours we talk about it. And then because of the paradigm, we need to hang up the phone. When we hang up the phone, we just lost all context. And now all the content that we said, it's only on our memories. MashMe doesn't work that way. We create digital spaces that you can come back to. So my notes from Math 101 of every week for the whole semester are there. Every recording, every speaker that came and impressed us, all of that is being stored as part of that. So the persistence is another part that is very important. And the third one, which is patented technology that we have in MashMe, which is called the shared memory, that allows you to synchronize application and educational experiences, which we have right now more than 75 EdTech specific features that are synchronized to this, if you want, secret MashMe sauce, which is our shared memory patent. I always say that being a teacher is one of the hardest jobs in the world. We don't want to make it harder. Before MashMe, the teachers always need to have all the content ready on their side, just in case a student asks. In here, we remove that need from the teacher because it's MashMe, the one that very smartly stores and saves even the page where you were in, or the drawing that you were making, or that position on the map that you were showing on your geography class. We want teachers to feel empowered by a technology that is, nothing feels more terrible, right, than being an expert in your field, but have technology make you look like an idiot, right? And that's why we are working very hard, so our teachers feel like superheroes when they are using our products, not the other way around.
Doubling back then to Google, and as you said, they've set an impossible goal. Is it feasible within your space that there's an impossible goal that MashMe should be striving for?
That's a very good question. And the answer is, the reason we exist is because we have been setting up for ourselves impossible goals since our very inception, right? If you want to compete on technology, I feel that that's the only way, because even if you fail higher. We want to become the reference for hybrid education. And in order to do that, a lot of things need to happen that today are impossible.
So it's 100% sustainable and carbon-free education is the impossible goal. Is everybody leading the way? Is it a sustainable future?
I don't think this train ride is optional. Society is not stupid. It might be slow, but it's not stupid. So if you are giving us products and services in a non-sustainable manner, someone will outcompete you. And part of the competition is going to be, look, I am cleaner. I care about this. My competitors do not. So customers care. I mean, customers ask about this on our meetings, on our prospect meetings. They are asking for this already. So I believe that right now we are exactly at a crossroads, and it's either you get up to that train, or your company may not be here for much longer, because people is waking up to the reality of a need for a sustainable future.
That's really interesting, because I'll call them the consumer, because you've got your customer, who is the universities and the rest of it. The consumer are the students. And of course, that most of them are young. I get that there's older students, especially in business schools and all the rest of it. But ultimately, those consumers at the moment are focusing on what the packaging looks like on their food, and they want less plastic. When is the Great Awakening going to be there, when they start looking at their tech and going, hold it a second?
I think that already has started at this point, and we have seen several discussions lately. I remember, for instance, when you have a very complicated web page that takes a long time to load, and they were asking, why is this taking so long, right? And having web technologies that were carbon free or less impact on that. So we are already seeing a lot of people asking questions, right? And asking questions is the first step to realizing that there is something wrong. So I believe that because of the plastics on the store, it's obvious that is wasteful. So I believe there is a part of needed education, if you want, around technology, because sometimes the waste that technology implies is not evident. I regret it, because I realized just a few months ago that we should be putting this as part of our communication.
And that doubles back to Google as well, because when you've got the power of such big companies, it's true though. If you can touch a piece of plastic, you understand what it is. Most of us don't understand your world, even though we use it every day. We just want super fast downloads. We don't appreciate the energy.
It's a magic box, right? I mean, it's a magic box that gives you that content. Yeah. Having Google on the Google I/O keynote presenting this advancement and setting very public, very impossible goal for 2030, that's inspiring, right? And that make people ask questions, and that's great.
Thank you, Victor.
Nick, it's been a pleasure. I hope that I have the chance to shake hands or at least clash elbows soon. Anyway, thank you for your time. Have a very nice weekend.
You have a brilliant weekend. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Cheers.
All the best. Wow. Thank you, Victor. A very powerful and passionate description of where technology is going and where we need to get to. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. The Planet Driven Brands podcast is the brainchild and copyright of Nick Jones and is broadcast in partnership with planetsagency.com. Planets Agency is a partnership of consultants and communications experts. We build planet-driven brands. During the series of shows, we'll be hearing from more experts, and we would love for you to be involved. Please do comment or come back to us with questions. We'll be happy to engage. If you wish to be notified when our episodes are broadcast, please subscribe on the website. If you'd like to be part of the show, we'd love to hear from you. We look forward to many more entertaining episodes. Thanks again for listening.